of school, north side, if you can pick it out from this distance, little north side moustache. Hadn't a clue what was going on, so I joined a very small practice. And in 1986, when I qualified as an accountant, I became Leinster student president. And one of the early experiences of becoming a student is becoming active early on in the whole networking scene. And the importance that I felt, even at that stage as a young man, 21, 22-year-old, in introducing yourself to the senior business people in the circle, so people who are key influencers potentially in your life. I suppose I made the leap then in 1987, and some of you may recognise this firm, it's a firm back in the day. And for those of you who are too young or like to forget about the experience of the 80s, the mid-80s is a bleak time. And qualifying as an accountant in 1987 had an option of either going to Australia or joining Dunn Stores as a purchasing accountant, or going into the insolvency profession is what I did in 1987. And in 1995, I moved up the scale and became the Leinster president of ACCA, and the whole role of networking in my life was very important in terms of joining the wider circle of experienced business people. In 1987, when I joined Farragut Sparks, I actually met a trainee accountant, a chap called Michael McAteer. Michael McAteer features large in my life, which is important as part of that journey, that life journey. That's Michael McAteer. So 1996, when I started my own business, when I say lack of ego, I decided to call it a fostering company. And it was a small practice with 100,000 euros in the first year, which was not bad back in 1995, with 2 employees. I encouraged Mick back from Australia in 1999, and he joined me, and we became known as Foster McAteer. Very creative, very inventive with our naming. But by that year, we had about 500,000 in revenue as a very small practice, and we had about 12 odd employees. In 2008, so over those years, Mick McAteer and I built a business from scratch, small, modest business doing about $500,000 a year, to a business that in 2008, where we grew the business to $4.5 million of recurring fee income, and we built to 45 employees. Now, many of you remember in 2008, the country was faced with a cataclysmic financial crisis, and things tend to fall off the cliff in 2008. But what we had in 2008 as a small business was we had a unique proposition. We were selling something that not a whole lot of other services firms were selling. We were selling insolvency services during the boom time when everybody else was selling boom services, so we had a unique something to sell. So we merged with a large firm called Thornton back in 2008. That's me. So I lost the glasses, the hair is getting a bit grayer, the north side body long since gone. I had a combined revenue then, so I started from a 100,000 a year, stepping out of a larger organisation into an organisation to find myself back in the glass box in 2008 with a larger firm of doing about 45 odd million. The firm I left in 1995, we actually merged back in, bizarrely back in 2015. And in 2017, in terms of my own personal kind of objectives and goals, I became the 2017 president of Dublin Chamber of Commerce, which is a large business networking organisation that we know to many of you in this room. So it's a kind of a highlight of my professional career, I think, even to date. And today, Thornton is, from the year we merged in 2008, in about 10 years, we've tripled in size from about 45 million to 123 million. So from 2 employees to effectively 1,300 employees, it's been a bizarre, crazy journey over those years. So in the next couple of slides, I'd like to share just some of those experiences that maybe helped me kind of contribute. But incidentally, Mick McAteer, who was my trainee in 1995, who then became my partner in 1999, is now my boss. So he's now the boss of Thornton. I'm the chairman of Thornton, and he's the boss. So we've kind of had a journey of 32 years together. So loyalty and relationships are key. It's part of my journey. So that journey's gone on and sustained itself for a long time. That's, I suppose, if you want to look at it pictorially, that's where we started in terms of where we are today, in terms of those key key points within my career. I suppose when we talk about networking, it's interesting when you put up a slide with business cards as opposed to putting up the normal digital technology. Think about the old way of doing business. One thing that's important to me about business cards actually is when somebody exchanges a business card with me, I feel it's an open invitation to kind of connect with you later on in order to generate some sort of business activity. But when we're networking, like we're all networking today, the important thing I always felt in all the networks I was involved in, there are too many networks almost, you need to choose the right network. And you network to get work. And Natasha and other people here, I've met Natasha over many events over the years, and I say sometimes to people in my job, where we're going to business developing, we're networking to get work, we're networking to get drunk. And sometimes, some of the events you can go to opening of envelopes, but the question really I always have, are they the important events to go to? And when you make connections at a networking event, my experience in lots of connections, that's just a sample of business cards that you pick up over the course of a couple of weeks or a couple of months. You have to be strategic about those connections. Not all connections are good connections, not all connections are business opportunities. I think one of the mistakes I would have made, and maybe over the years, is we call them in our place, the secret code is a what meeting. So you try to avoid wasted time meetings or repetitive wasted time meetings. So you exchange business cards, we have coffee, and you generate business. Or you don't generate business, you generate an opportunity, you generate a connection. Sometimes it's a chemistry, or often not, there's no chemistry. And sometimes it's hard to say no to somebody in repeat requests to have meetings. Sometimes it's important just to move on when you actually make those connections as well. So. But the other thing, when you do make the connections, I think one of my things I've done very well over the years in terms of you capture those key contacts, and you capture them and record them somewhere in some system, and you keep in touch with those contacts. I was at an event this morning where the CEO of Fire, or formerly of VLX Payments, who sold his company for 140 million, made a very good point, which resonates very well with me. When he was going through the growth journey, people said, I haven't heard from you in a long time. Thought you were out of business or gone out of business. So it's important to refresh the contact base with people all the time, let people know that you're actually out there, and keep those, when you capture those key contacts, make sure you keep in touch with those key contacts. And I've been very good at that generally, but it is kind of exhausting when your contact base gets quite big. But the important thing about the networking that I've done over the years is that patience. I can refer to business that I've generated over the years in Grand Thornton or before that, and even today, where people will ring you up after 1 year, 5 years, or 10 years. They remember some business that they did with you, or some connection that they made with you, or some event that they saw you speaking at. And in today's world, technology, from a networking perspective, between LinkedIn and between CRM systems, there's a huge reliance on technology to capture contacts. And my perspective on technology is very, very useful as a tool. It's not a replacement for networking. So face-to-face to me is very important. One of my important networks is Dublin Chamber of Commerce. There's the billboard of Dublin Chamber of Commerce. When I was president of Dublin Chamber of Commerce, I attended about 120 events that year. Practically all of those brands on that board were all large corporates. They were all in the room. I wanted to be in the room with those people. I wanted to have the opportunity to speak to those people. And that's my network. When I was growing my business, I wanted to be known in the market. I think in terms of having a clear messaging, it can't be the be-all and end-all to everything. So I think in terms of wanting to please, in terms of what your business is, your own core business, really be clear as to what you are and what you're not. I've been accused of saying too much too often, or creating my own publicity, but I think it is important to say something interesting, different, and often. And too often that we say bland, repetitive, we repeat what we say over and over again, and nobody's listening. There's too much clutter in the space. So it is important to create what I believe we did create in the Foster Marketing days and personally, your own brand. But periodically we have to refresh our brand. So when I joined Grand Thornton, I was involved in insolvency. They wouldn't let me do insolvency anymore when the world was falling off the cliff, so I had to rebrand and recreate the world in professional services and business consulting. I recreated the brand around that offering. So it's important not to go stale. I think a lot of us who develop our business over the years, I've been involved in developing businesses. Sometimes if you keep on doing the same thing, complacency sits in and you go backwards. One of the most important things I always felt that when I was growing a business is I had to keep an eagle eye on my competitors, because they were keeping an eagle eye on me. They were copying me, I was copying them. I was concerned about their pricing, I was concerned about their messaging. But at the same time, you don't want to create a herd instinct. So we never followed the herd during the heady days of the Celtic Tiger. I didn't want to get lost in the herd either. So I think it's important when you're in the market to not follow the herd instinct. There's some sense of some of that now going on here, some of the repetitive business. And following on from what Joanne was saying in terms of building a business and what your business stands for, I think it's very important to have, embrace, and live values within your business. And these are the values that I helped to bring into Grant Thornton to create a value-based system. So when we are creating a business, and over the years we're passionate about our business. So we put our heart into our business and we don't do it at all, so you really have to enjoy going to work. We have to be grounded, keep an eye on ourselves, make sure, as I say, but I sound like an egotistic person, and genuinely not. You have to keep your feet firm in the ground and watch your ego that you don't get too much ahead of yourself. One of the important things we do in our business, and I wouldn't do it unless it was fun, we do have fun. We're a appropriate level of fun. We enjoy coming to work, we enjoy smiling, we enjoy engaging with people. It gets harder, believe you me, as you get older, but it is a very important part of what we do and everything we do within our work. In terms of growing my business, one of the things that was very fundamentally important to me was integrity. And Joanne alluded to that as well in terms of, from a leadership perspective, integrity is very important. It's not about dog eat dog, it's not about cutthroat, it is about competitive edge and so on and so forth. You have to have rules and principles in business. I can honestly say in the 20, 30 odd years I've been involved in business, nobody can say I did a bad turn or I did anything wrong in terms of my business ethic. That's important in whatever business I'm doing as well. And collaborative as well, leadership, teams win every time, so it's very, very difficult when you go from a fostering club to a Grant Thornton, to try and kind of to be yourself. So people do make the difference. As I alluded earlier on, you recruit better than yourself. So I had a trainee, he became my partner, and now he's my boss. I have some very senior people working for me. They're much more smarter, clever than I am. So in recruiting better than yourself, people become loyal to you. But loyalty needs to be earned. It's a two-way street. And trusted relationships in any organisation can take time. So as you grow a business from becoming as I became a sole practitioner, to a partner with McMacTier, and today we have 51 partners in Grant Thornton, and I'm the chairman of that bunch of 51 partners. And at some stage in your life or in your career, you'll have an opportunity to stay solo, or to join business with somebody, or to either take on shareholders, investors. And when you take on partners or shareholders, it's very important. It's really a turning point in your life. That I felt when I chose to go into partnership, particularly with McMacTier, or go into partnership with Grant Thornton Partners. It's much like a marriage. It's very easy to get into it, very hard to get out of it. So if you're going to be lying down with these guys, you really like them. I like what Joanne was saying. You liked them, you really liked them. And you don't tick those boxes of liking them and really liking them, then really, you don't do it. And so it's important to have that trusted relationship, that trusted partnership, that trusted shareholder structure within your life, within your business. In terms of one of the things I did over the years, in terms of looking at some of the people that I grew the business with, in terms of rewarding performance. And there's lots of things at the moment measuring performance and bonuses and bonus structure and balanced scorecards. And all those tools are all very valuable. But I like to reward behaviour, not just performance. And performance is only one metric of how a business will grow. Behaviour to your colleagues, behaviour to your peers and to your staff is very, very important to me when I reward within our organisation. I say people are very important. I didn't invest in McMacTier. He more or less invested in me, but the talent pipeline is very important. in any organisation that you're going to be part of. Because we all do get old. When you look at that picture of me, the 17-year-old with the Northside moustache, now with the glasses and now the grey hair, I'm now 54 years of age, you say, how long more can you get? How long more can you go? So you don't have a talent pipeline who are loyal to you. You will either fall over to a proverbial heart attack, or to cease to be fun, or to become too difficult in order to engage with the various changes that are happening. At the same time, one of the things I've learned through my cost over the years, when you're building a talent pipeline, you need to be aware of the golden goose within your organisation. We've all had these golden geese in our organisation, the ultra salesman or saleswoman who knocks it out of the park every day, every week. You can sell, sell, sell. But sometimes you need to be really careful about those guys or those girls. They can walk out the door with your business, or your business can fall over if they have the proverbial heart attack, or they can damage your reputation. So if you're building a business around a single person or a single golden goose, you need to really be careful. So you need to put a tether on the golden goose, bring them into your organisation, or you strangle the golden goose. You really need to be careful of that golden goose who's in your organisation. One thing that's really become in our organisation with 1,300 people, and using Entrepreneurs Academy and talking about leadership, bringing people through organisations, the whole generation issue between the millennials and the generation X, Y, Z and everything else. Some of these issues can be overstated. I was listening on the radio on the way in that people in their 50s and 40s finding it difficult to get jobs. There's a lot of talent out there in the grey hairs, a lot of experience in the grey hairs, and some of these kind of issues and some of these accommodations that we're having to make to adjust our organisations to accommodate some of the new ways of working are all very good, valid, and all very progressive. Some of them are very overstated. Some of the core values of business and some of those core values of integrity and loyalty can be lost as we kind of approach a transient kind of workforce. So organisations like ourselves, when we grow, you recruit, you give people experience, and you're only born and momentum in a short period of time. So we're very strong in terms of building that talent pipeline, embedding them into our culture, and getting those values really firmly entrenched into their mind in order to keep the good talent. So we use good talent to a better organisation. It happens, and we take talent to a better organisation. Really beat ourselves up over that. So why can't we do more? Keep them on board. It's very important, and if you are building a business or you are growing a business, and I decided to grow a business, it wasn't about creating an exit or creating a sale, but you don't really want to retire or die on the job and have no exit plan. So a succession plan is really all around the people who are in your organisation. That's why sometimes being a sole practitioner or a sole trader or having your own business can be very difficult if you don't see an exit. You haven't got financial independence towards toward when you reach the end of that journey. So it hasn't all been successful. We've had when I left school in 1982, straight in as a training accountant, and we're now 2019, so 27 odd years later. Clearly there were lots of mistakes along the way, but I suppose you try to learn from some of those mistakes. I wonder because I've been involved in the insolvency business on and off over the years, no longer have been involved in it over 10 years, there will be a financial or an economic slowdown. And I see signs of it even now, and we are close, remember, to the next recession than we are from the last. And people forget that, in the 80s and in the 90s, and again, we had various economic downturn. And one of the key lessons I learned from looking at and being involved in very large organisations and very small organisations that went into liquidation or receivership, it wasn't only just destruction of wealth, destruction of people's pride, and all sorts of other kind of issues that impact people when the financial crisis looms. And the amount of people who are ill-prepared and didn't take some reasonable, basic precautions when things were rumbling, it kind of surprises me in some of the advice that they got along the way. So you take precautions along the way, all eggs in one basket, so look at what happened in the last economic slowdown. And if you think it's not going to happen again, then you're really living on some other different planet, because it will happen again, and we need to be prepared to take precautions. I put this up in the office the other day, and one of the guys said to me, "What the hell is a snake oil salesman?" It's about the snake oil saleswomen as well, right? So along the year, when you're growing your business, we've met them all, and especially at the latter end of the last Celtic Tiger, the people coming in with schemes, opportunities, schemes and scams, we used to call them. Glossy brochures with tissue paper in the middle of them. The more glossier and the more tissue paper that was in between the pages, the more risky the investments were. And opportunities when you're in a business like I was as an accountant to invest or divest your business into other areas, so you should be doing this. When somebody said to me, Brendan, what you should be doing is this. I said, well, I'm going to do it all right, in relation to this whole Foster McIntyre story or about no, you guys should be doing this, you guys should be doing that. A huge amount of guys out there who are peddling services, opportunities to invest, business opportunities. And if you own the business and you put your blood, sweat and tears into the business, which I have done in the last 30 odd years, you can lose it on the basis of a very bad investment or a very bad strategic partner. And I fear actually they're out there again. I see the same people, and I see Mark as well, and Mark, solicitor friend of mine. We've seen them, they're coming back. And when I put it up there, he said, guys, be careful, be cautious. And one of the big experiences when you're growing a business is overtrading. You want to do everything, and you can't actually continue to trade and invest off the back of your own capital. You don't have capital to invest. And investing in other people's kind of, lending money or extending credit to people, or chasing business that you can't fund and sustain. One of the challenges Mick McIntyre and I had when we were growing a business of 45 people, we couldn't grow fast enough. We were growing too fast, but we couldn't pay the staff out of the money we weren't getting for a year until a year later. And you're overtrading and you're chasing the tail constantly. So you have a good profitable core business. The danger of falling over due to overtrading is something that a lot of small business that I saw over the years suffered and went into the insolvency process. Not because they had a bad business, just because they didn't fund it properly. I like to talk about my inner voice, and when I get all soft and cuddly and I talk about, your intuitive sense of your gut. And something, when you listen to your gut, generally speaking, your gut doesn't let you down. You know it's the right thing or the wrong thing to do. So sometimes when it is too good to be true, it is actually too good to be true. And so I say, listen to your gut. I say mostly, because sometimes I listen to my gut and I've gone in the wrong direction. I lost some money, I lost some friends, I lost some business. I think, again, Joanne alluded to it, in terms of your loyalty to your customers. It wasn't because I gave them a bad service or because they got bad advice generally, because they felt that maybe I got too big for my boots to be seeing them, to meet them, to keep in touch with them. Because in a large organisation like Thornton, other people start doing servicing your clients get bigger. And you get a solitary lesson when you see some of your clients that you started off as small SMEs growing into large corporates, getting advice elsewhere. So I do my best, and it's something that we, back to the kind of grounded roots. Never forget your clients, and never forget keep in touch with your clients, with your loyal clients. So you take some chances. Back again in terms of, of course, it's not all about kind of a structured plan, so did you get here by default of design, A lot of our growth has been by default, not by design, because it's been structured. You take a chance, you do an evaluation, and you try our best to mitigate those risks. So every opportunity in business to develop and grow has risks. So the question is, once you know what those risks are, you try your best to mitigate against those risks. But luck is very important. So luck, in terms of meeting the right person at the right time from a business perspective, and you can always chart back to either 1987 when I met Mick McIntyre and I joined Farragut Sparks. That was more by default than design. So luck is very important, getting business, establishing relationships, or being in the right place at the right time. But sometimes you can ride your luck, or you can over-rely on your luck, and you really believe you become invincible. So very important, luck is very important. One of the big lessons, I suppose, one of the mistakes we've made and often make and other people make is that sometimes you have to make hard decisions in business. sometimes relationships don't work out. Sometimes clients are difficult, so you need to make those decisions to either lose the individual member of staff, colleague, partner, or client. And the longer you let those kind of issues fester, or you invest in something. So I mean, I did it. So these are all the mistakes I made. I overtraded. I was involved in a recruitment business. I was involved in a pizza business. I was involved in a pub. So I decided I could be all things to all men, and none of those businesses are any successful. So I had the first idea about the pizza business or the recruitment business or the pub business. I know a lot about the pub business from the other side of the bar. So, so to make those, and sometimes we're slow to kind of admit failure or having made a bad mistake. So when you make those bad mistakes, make the decisions. Okay, we made a bad mistake. Nobody's going to, people are going to respect you more for making decisions earlier. And I suppose that's the same point again. Stick to the knitting. So I've been an accountant, trainee accountant since 1982, qualified 86. That's all I know. It's accountancy, it's consultancy, it's financial services. So that's what I do, that's what I've been known to do. So we've had a great journey so far. I'd like to think it's not quite over. So I hope it's found some of that interesting and informative. Thanks very much.